Welcome to another edition of the Stack Supplement Podcast, where we run down all the top stories and exciting announcement shared on our website from the past 7 days. And I am back fresh from India from the IHFF show. We did share a few stories from the show. We met a lot of brands. It was good to learn all about that part of the world, the market, how it's developing, how it's going, how it's maturing. Definitely a lot of brands in that area. Domestic, by that I mean domestic brands. Fresh newcomers, new takes, new interesting flavors. It definitely was very interesting and a very educational experience from that part of the world, and a well-executed expo, not as large or as prominent as something like the Arnold or even FIBO or other international major markets, I guess, but it was pretty well presented. The brands are all the booths of the brands were pretty high level. I thought it was a pretty good presentation, and I got to experience a lot of samples of supplements, and it was a great reception. But yeah, well worth learning. We'll be sharing a few of those brands that we met at the show on the website in the midst of our usual news feed. So if you see some of them, some newcomers from the Indian market, this pretty much spawned from there, and it was pretty cool to see. But we're running down the top stories from last week, and we're going to start things off with Clash of the Cans, because today the quarterfinals have kicked off. Round 2 quarterfinals, whatever you want to call it. We had a huge opening round, more votes than any other opening round. We had over 100 different energy drinks to vote on, and everyone certainly got their vote on. I'll run down just the guys currently in the midst. And so for those who haven't been a part or haven't seen it before, basically Clash of the Cans is our energy drink showdown. So we get every energy drink we shared on Stacked, we put it to vote, and we see what ones you like the most. Brands do campaign to win this, so they'll call on their fans and stuff like that. And yeah, the quarterfinals brought it down to 16, so we have the top 16 progressing, and it was pretty cool to see those that process forward. So these are, I'm going to read out the 16 quarterfinalists, and these are also in groups. So the way the quarterfinals works is we have 4 groups, and in each group there is 4 energy drinks. The winner of each of these groups then goes on to the semifinals. 4 groups means we'll have 4 that progress into the next round, and then they are going to be voted on in 2 groups of 2, all leading to the grand final of 1 versus 1. So yeah, the group is, and I will admit, these are some of these are pretty good. Some of them are just real luck of the draw, tough battles. So Group 1 has Bum Energy Drink, EHP Oxy Shred Energy, 3D Energy, and C4 Energy. And that is definitely a tough group. 3D Energy, C4, Bum, and Oxy Shred all have some pretty big fan bases. Group 2 has Slayer Energy going up against... Slayer Energy is a South African one. Got quite a cult following. And they are going up against Ghost, Red Bull, and Bucked Up. So they have their work cut out for them, but so does Ghost, Red Bull, and Bucked Up. Those are some giants to be taking on. Group 3, we have Grizzly, Rain, Ecovision, and the ABE, or All Black Everything energy drink. So that is not as busy as, Ghost, Red Bull, and Bucked Up. That is an intense group to be in. I feel a bit bad for Slayer being tossed into that that Lions Den, as you'd call it. Grizzly, Rain, Ecovision, ABE, a pretty relatively balanced group. In the last one, this one is a mammoth. So in that last group, Group 4, it's Jocko's Jocko Go energy drink up against Gorilla Mind Energy. So just turned 1-year-old, that energy drink. They were actually excluded from last year's competition because our rule is you have to be at least 1-year-old to take part. Gorilla Mind Energy launched, I think it was like a week too short or something. It was only on the market for 3 weeks, so we couldn't include it, but it is in the mix this year. Then we have Rise Fuel and Monster Ultra. So these are probably the busiest. That group and the Ghost group, it's incredibly tight competition. It's going to be fun to see who progresses on. This will probably be the first year I think we've seen this many big names make it through, and by that I mean usually Red Bull doesn't make it. Monster Ultra has, but then not always. It's also, Monster Ultra is quite a mainstream popular energy drink. Our audience, Stacked audience, is very heavily sports nutrition and supplementation, so it's not common for them to those sort of mainstream popular drinks like Red Bull, like Monster Ultra, to realistically make it through. But they have. I can't even remember the last time Red Bull did, but either way, it's in there. And it's got its work cut out for them. They all do. Except I think Grizzly, Rain, Echo, and ABE. I think that's probably the calmest group. That's still pretty intense because Rain did win the second ever Clash of the Cans. Grizzly is an incredible. Echo Vision has a damn loyal following, and ABE is also fresh into the US market in a year in the US. After being on the market for many, many years in the UK, it's got a nice international following. So tough lineup realistically anywhere you go. You can get your votes in over at clashofthecans.com. So all I ask is, if you got a spare minute, head over there, have your say. You don't have to vote in every group. You can. You could vote just for your favorites. If your favorite's on there, don't vote at all. Maybe just vote for one you think you might like to win. That's all I ask. It's a great fun competition, and the winner of the whole thing gets our custom, it's in the corner back there, our custom Clash of the Cans trophy, which is a bronze cast trophy, heavy as shit. I think it's like a 5-6 pound thing, and it's a replica of a 16-ounce can. So it's pretty damn cool, and it's a custom cast, so they don't look identical. The cast is obviously the same as it is, but the material it's made in and the way in which it's forged, it's not exactly an identical process, so they all look distinctively different, which is pretty cool. But yeah, this will be the 6th time it's been run. Rise, C4, and Rain are all in the mix to repeat. We've only ever had one repeat, and that was Ray's Energy. C4 was the first winner, then we got Rain, then it was Rays went back to back, and then it's Rise as the returning champion. So it's a tough battle for all them in the mix. I would look forward to seeing whoever turns out. I have my favorites. My favorite, I think the only time my favorite one, I'm trying to think, I love 3D Energy Drink. That never usually makes it. It's in this second round, but either way, go vote, have your say, appreciate anything you can do. Now, getting straight to the stories of the week, we have Rimeval Labs, who announced its Mega Pre-Workout. Now, this is a supplement it had back in the day. It was known as Mega Pre. They said it was coming, they had something coming back. This is what's coming back. It's Mega Pre. They've shortened the name to just Mega, and it is a pretty solid stacked pre-workout, but I will admit, I was hoping with a name like Mega and the current landscape of the pre-workout category, I suspected we were going to get maybe a kitchen sink style supplement, a loaded, packed out pre-workout. I'm not knocking it, it's a damn good product for the price, but I just thought it was going to be at the $60 range. Like, it's very similar to the other premium stuff we've seen. But it sits, I believe the regular price is $44.99, and they introduced it with a buy one get one half price sale, which brings it down to like $33 a tub for 2. So it's definitely not in that upper realm of the $50 to $60 price point. It is definitely a more mainstream, but considering the price point, it's stacked. It's pretty damn packed out considering, and you get plenty of dosages, plenty of ingredients. And I'll rattle them off here for you now. You get 6 grams of citrulline, 3.2 beta-alanine, 2.5 betaine, 2 grams tyrosine, a gram of taurine, another gram of choline bitartrate for focus, 250 caffeine anhydrous, which combines with dicaffeine, Infinity dicaffeine malate, pumping it up to a total of 300 milligrams of caffeine. Hupezine's in there as well as theobromine and Cognatic or Cogniq to further help the focus. It's a pretty well-rounded pre-workout, nothing supremely dosed over the top, which is kind of what the name, when they said they were bringing back something, I thought it was Mega, and I was sort of hyped for it to be that stacked, loaded, 50 gram scoop, whatever it may be. And it's still, again, for the price point, it's a damn good supplement. Kudos for Rimeval bringing this beast together. And for the price point, if you buy that $33, you'll have a hard time finding a supplement for around that $30 mark that's this loaded, this well dosed. Again, usually you don't have this variety, usually you don't have these high dosages, but that's what you get. And it is also, I believe, 20 maximum servings per tub. It's a very solid supplement for the price point. You can check that out on the website. Next up, we're going to jump over to Barebells, the maker of our #1 protein bar in the world. It's held that position ever since we tried it. I feel like a broken record. I've said this many, many times over the years. It's been the #1 protein bar in the world for us since trying it there back in Scandinavia all those years ago, shortly after it launched. And they've just not disappointed. They've continuously come out with new flavors, but more recently, Barebells became available in the US, and not just available, widely available. They're in Walmart, they're in major specialty, they're in plenty of convenience locations, and this has encouraged, I believe this has encouraged what we've been getting, and that is exclusive flavors for the US market. In Sweden, it's always been new flavors there first, and then the rest of the world gets it at a later stage. And those flavors out of Sweden, some of them have been more specific to the Scandinavian region. And by that I mean there was the licorice. Licorice is a popular flavor in that part of the world. Black licorice, I should add, not my favorite, not close, but probably closer to the bottom end of my barrel. But it's a big one over there. And they have launched that several times. So what I'm saying is most of the flavors introduced are more geared for that market. And with popularity in the US and the distribution that's increased, they have now been putting together flavors for the market here in the US, and which is pretty cool to see. And it started with, I believe it was pumpkin, that we got a pumpkin one for fall, then maybe it was peanut butter first. Either way, we got a peanut butter one, which peanut butter inherently is a flavor very popular in North America, not so much anywhere else in the world. And now, this past week, they announced another one, which as far as I know is only available in the US, and further leading into that Barebells giving back to the US market where it has become very, very popular. It is a birthday cake flavor. And again, another flavor very popular in the US, not so much anywhere else. It is, again, just a perfect fit. A flavor you would typically see in the US, and they've bought it for the signature Barebells protein bar, the one we consider the best in the world, not the soft protein bar. The signature Barebells protein bar. It promises, I believe the flavor description was just too damn good. They said a classic sponge cake with a buttercream taste, a colorful birthday cake, sprinkles, and a wrapping of white chocolate, 20 grams of protein, and the calories 210. So fairly typical for a Barebells protein bar. Great protein, no added sugar if I'm not mistaken, just a gram of sugar overall. Damn good. You can get it now. Again, as far as I know, it's only in the US. I have not seen this pop up absolutely anywhere else. And to be honest, like I said, it's a very US specific flavor, so it's not too surprising that we won't be seeing this elsewhere. The next bunch of stories we're going to rattle off, we don't have too many, but these ones are all very, very large. And they're all in the beverage realm and not energy drink. Usually the news, again, we have Clash of the Cans. It's been energy dominant news most of the year. This past week, we saw a mountain of stories that surfaced that were the most popular of the week, but they were not energy drinks, and they were all beverages. So I'm going to go over them right now. The first one came from Starbucks, no less, and this one just popped with our audience, but not too surprisingly considering Starbucks. Starbucks is a big name. It'll reach into, even if you're just a fan of protein powder, you know what Starbucks is. If you're a fan of energy drinks, you probably know what Starbucks is. Most people who might be fans of just individual categories know what the hell it is. And they announced in the UK they're launching a protein coffee drink. So this is going to be basically a protein shake with real coffee, promising real coffee tastes. I believe it was 20 grams of protein per shake, no added sugar. Now, I don't know the exact carbohydrates and fat, but I imagine it's relatively low. I'm not saying that's a guarantee, but with 20 grams of protein, no added sugar, the no added sugar part should encourage lower carbohydrates. I don't know that for certain. And this is also a mainstream drink. This isn't something you're going to be able to find, I believe, in like a supplement store. This is, I'm guessing, going to be sold in places where you would find the Starbucks' regular on-the-go beverages and stuff. And maybe, I'm assuming Starbucks locations as well in the UK. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a 20 protein, 20 grams of carbs. Again, this isn't necessarily for the world of sports that we're used to, where you want 20 grams of protein with 3 grams of carbs, 5 grams of carbs, lean as hell. This is for a wider audience that might just be more interested in something with heightened protein as a better for you version or a better for you shake to have with you on the go. It'll be available in 3 flavors: cafe latte, caramel hazelnut, and chocolate mocha. And again, this is for the UK market. This isn't for the US. at least for now. And now rolling out to the UK, I believe it is this week or within the next week or so. So be on the lookout for that. That was a huge one on our side. Again, resonated quite big with a lot of the audience. Another one we saw was Jocko. So Jocko had a lot of excitement to share with the official launch of the Jocko Hydrate drink. Now it did already have a hydration supplement, as with absolutely everybody in the world of sports nutrition these days. So yeah, Jocko has been pumping out supplements pretty consistently this year, and it did already have a hydration product. Now it has done a hydration drink, joining the likes of Prime, Ghost, inspired with its premium anti-aging infused or cellular health infused product. And Jocko Hydrate keeps it pretty simple. Not in terms of simple as in bad, but simple as in to the point. And when you, I guess if you're making a sports drink and you want it to appeal to the masses or a clear audience, making it not simple but again straight and to the point, it's a good way to go. And so it has a core blend of electrolytes, breaking down into 540 milligrams of chloride, 200 milligrams of potassium, 300 sodium, and 100 magnesium. So it's just over that total gram of electrolytes. And again, the whole purpose was to give you a beverage that would replace the electrolytes minerals lost during intense exercise. Very clear, clean, to the point. I believe it was no artificial colors, flavors, or sweeteners. But despite that, the taste is said to be sensational, and the sugar, no sugar, and the calories have been kept to a bare minimum, 15 per 16-ounce bottle, and 4 flavors: lemon, lime, island orange, fruit punch, and blue raspberry. So very common, straightforward, familiar flavors: fruit punch and blue raspberry, 2 of the most common in the world of sports nutrition. And that makes up half of the menu of the Jocko hydration drink. You can get it now straight from the Jocko online store, and I believe it's not too bad when you buy it direct, $2.47 a bottle. But if you go into specialty stores, I imagine you're going to be able to buy it individually for a certain price. Generally, buy in bulk is a little more cost effective, but that just gives you an idea on the value and what you're going to pay for it. A very Jocko type beverage. Not to knock it or anything, just again, to the point. It's very much like an energy drink that has just caffeine and energy ingredients. It's to the point. It's what a sports drink needs to be. It's clean, no artificial colors, flavors, or sweeteners, perfectly fitting for that. Again, it just makes it more direct. It just means it's like, hey, this is for hydration and performance and recovery. We give you everything you need and nothing you don't, as like I said, very fitting for the Jocko brand, and it's rolling out to, I imagine, everywhere you can find its protein shake and even its supplements. So that one's coming to market. Now, next up is another sports drink, but this was probably one of the biggest stories we had, mostly because it's a giant brand, and I'm talking about Prime. So Prime officially launched its Prime X campaign, and so we shared it last week because it was revealed the actual flavor. So Prime X, if you haven't been following, I believe it launched today, but details came out over the last week or so. It was details came out on their site, then details came up at the stores. So I'll break it down as best I can. There is a shitload of information specifically about Prime X. So basically, Prime X is a brand new special edition flavor. It has a black bottle with like a blue or pink trim. Looks very technological. This is just called X. I call it Prime X just so I'm not saying X all the time. And there are, so the flavor inside, regardless of whether you grab the pink or the blue, is strawberry lemonade. It is the same flavor that I believe that's in the Erling Haaland special edition in the UK, which is also described as strawberry lemonade. So it is that flavor inside, whether you go the pink or the blue. Prime X, it is strawberry lemonade, and there are special edition versions of those with a holographic design. It's a very obvious thing, so I believe it's the logo has like a metallic chrome finish in it, very similar to the Glowberry holographics that there were. All of them, so you got the regular blue, pink, holographic blue, pink, they're all strawberry lemonade. Now, where this thing gets interesting is that in combination with Prime X, there is a giveaway, a massive giveaway, a treasure hunt, if you say. So under each wrapper is a map. So you peel back the wrapper, there's a map inside, or a map piece, and it's numbered 1 to 12. If you can find 1 to 12, by that I mean number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and you take the cap off it and submit that cap through the website, primex.drinkprime.com. You have to sign up, then you just basically enter the code. So you find a bottle, unwrap it, there's map 1, put the code in the website under your account, so you have to set up an account with a password. It's stored on your account. You've got number 1. Then you find, 7, 6, all the other numbers. You need to keep I believe you need to keep the cap. I'm not sure if you need to keep the wrapper, but just to be safe, you may as well, especially when the prize that's on the line. So once you've entered the code, it all adds up. Now, if you get all 12 before the deadline, it's a little bit confusing as to when the deadline is. They say that if it's, I think it's July something, but then if it's it's the earlier of the two, July, or when the distribution of all the codes is out there. I'm not entirely sure what it means exactly, but within the next 4 to 6 weeks, if you get all 12 pieces and you submit them online and you have the caps, you will win $1 million. Now, there's a but there. If you and someone else gets all 12, so if there are 4 people that get 12, you'll each get $250,000 each. It's not $1 million each, it's dividing the prize. And this competition is open worldwide. US, Canada, UK, and Australia. So this is a shit ton of people that are going to be on the hunt, and Prime fans are die hard as any of them come. So don't be surprised if this turns out to be $1 million divided by 20 and you all get, what's that? Geez, 50,000. I wouldn't be surprised if that many people turn out. I would also imagine that maybe some of these pieces they're only going to put into certain places, or maybe they've only done so many runs of piece 5 and so many runs of piece 11, and maybe there's only this many guaranteed winners, right? So I would think they've worked this out so that it's not like 1,000 people get it and it's a much, much smaller prize than $1 million. Either way, that is how it's going to break down. So you need to go if you want to go on the hunt. Additionally, if you're a collector and you do not want to, even if you're a collector or a fan and you do not want to get into the midst of the hunt, right? You just want to drink it, enjoy it, collect the bottles, whatever. There is another incentive. So every cap that you redeem gets you a certain amount of points. Now there's no set number of points from what I understand. You put in the cap, it could be a cap for map number 5, it could be a cap for map number 6. It may be a cap for the same map piece. You will get a certain number of points. And I believe you can only redeem 500 points or 500 caps? I can't remember. But once you sign up, there is a redemption program. So there are things you can redeem points for: a tee, hat, and AirPods, and a special edition, 2 special edition bottles of the Prime Hydration drink. One of them is called Glitch Elixir and the other one is called Signature Serum. Far as I know, you cannot get these anywhere else. And I imagine it's quite difficult to get a lot of points because 50 points gets you the Glitch Elixir. I believe it was quite high to get the AirPods, and then the Signature Serum was 125 points. So it's 2.5 times more points to get Signature than it is Glitch Elixir, and rightfully so, because Signature Serum, apparently, we've got both of them on the site, you can check them out, each bottle of that is going to be personally signed by Logan Paul and KSI, which I thought was pretty cool to see that they're doing. Either it's going to be very hard to get 125 points, or they're prepared to sign a lot of bottles. I mean, I don't really know if it's 1 point per bottle. You got to buy 125 bottles, and you have to buy Prime X, so these aren't going to be codes you can get from other flavors. It has to be Prime X. I guess that's, like, if you get 1 point, I don't think they're giving out halves. I imagine there might be about 1 cap gets you 5, sometimes it's 10, whatever it may be. So yeah, this is all alongside the map and treasure hunt for the $1 million. So, and it's available again, US, UK, Canada, and Australia. Those are the only countries that it's open to, so you might get the caps in some other countries, but these are the only ones that it's eligible to. Those are the only ones where you have to be, if you want to go for that prize and I believe redeem the codes for merchandise, you need to be within those countries. So get collecting, get hunting, and all the best for those who venture out to get all 12. That's a mission. And again, keep in mind, and I mean, I didn't see anywhere that said that there was a minimum amount of maps to be collected. So again, if there could be 2 people, there could be 1 person at the end, there could be 100. Who knows? Prime will know. They'll know how many different winners there can be. And so good luck to everyone. All the best. We've got all the information on the website because, again, this was an intricate launch. Hugely intricate. And yeah, best of luck. And the last story we have, and this was a rather big one, and it's also in the sports drink space, and it is from Lionel Messi. So if you remember 3 months ago, he announced, well, it was announced that, I think it's the Mark Anthony Group is what it's called, the company behind White Claw, the hard seltzer, announced that it was making a sports drink with the legendary Lionel Messi, and that sports drink is about to come to market. It's called Más, and it is going to be a pretty, we didn't get all the details, but it pretty much summed it up a lot in the description. They're putting together all 4 key electrolytes: sodium, magnesium, potassium, and calcium, B vitamin, zinc, vitamin C, with just 1 gram of sugar, and we're imagining 10 calories in a bottle. Now, the interesting part about this is that it's coming in 4 flavors. Each of the flavors has been named after or inspired by a part of Messi's life. It's a pretty cool little breakdown. I believe there is Miami Punch, Lemon Lime League, Berry Copa Crush, and Orange Dior. The interesting part, so the drink itself seems pretty straightforward. I don't know how it tastes. It is going to be available in a lot of big places. They said you'll be finding it in Walmart and 7-Elevens, to just name a couple. So it is going to be out there. It's launching in the US and Canada this week, if I'm not mistaken. I thought it was June 16th. I do believe it's June 16th. Forgive me if that's off. So again, a lot of different places. And the even slightly more interesting part is that it's not just launching in bottles. So there will be the half-liter 500ml bottle. There are also going to be cans. That was the interesting part that got me, that yeah, every flavor is going to have a canned version. I suspect they're flat. I don't know. I didn't see anywhere that specified sparkling version, so I would think that if it was going to be different from the bottle, they would say so. But yeah, it's a pretty big launch, pretty big lineup, and we haven't seen the exact formula, but all the flavors that are in the bottle, they're coming in the can. So very interesting to see a sports drink in a can. Not that it hasn't been done before, but to have it synchronized bottle and can was a pretty interesting detail, I thought. And for Lionel Messi's foray into the, is foray the right word? I believe it. Either way, dive into the category. It's a pretty interesting take. If you sign up to the website, I believe it's Más by Messi, you can actually sign up to get I think you get exclusive entry to what's called a commemorative box. And from what I understand, it is an 8-pack with 2 of each flavor. I don't know if that's one of the can, one of the bottle. That would be cool. It looked like just 2 of each of the bottle. And there's also a personal letter from Messi. I don't think it's going to be like a letter for every single person that changed from person to person. I think it'll just be like a letter like, thank you for being a part of the launch and blah, blah, blah. Like, people who get the box will get this letter that he's written for the masses. So yeah, you can check that out on the site. Huge week for sports drinks, and it doesn't seem to be stopping. Hydration is, like, I thought it was peaking last year, but we've clearly seen that the sports drinks and hydration supplements are just beginning. All the stories on here you can check out on the site. Make sure you share the website with your mom, your dad, your brother, sister, friends, and family. That's all I ask. Visit the website multiple times a day. That is all that we need to keep the service going, to keep the world updated on everything sports supplements, functional foods, and energy drinks from anywhere in the world. US, Canada, UK, America, India, Asia, wherever it may be. That's what we do. That's what we endeavor to do. And thank you for listening. Look forward to having you back next time.